Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to Funnel Factor. I realize my hair is a mess. That's okay. Let me adjust camera here. We jumped on here because we were running late. So we want to make sure everything's good. But welcome to Funnel Factor. I'm so excited for today. This is the last day of Brooke Castillo week, and we have been diving into her page a lot. And we're going to be doing one more factor of her page today. However, before we get started, let me just give you the rundown in case you're new to Funnel Factor. We are breaking down landing pages of our favorite experts in their fields. This is coaches, course creators, other info product owners. Maybe we dabble in some other industries as well, but what we're doing is we are looking for what they are doing on their landing pages and in their funnels that is working, so we can go and apply those same strategies to our own funnels. So if you are here with me and you're ready to go, let me know in the comments that you are ready, and you can put hashtag live down there to let me know that you're here with me live, or hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. And as you're following along, let me know what stands out to you on this page. So today we're actually going to be focusing in on the text. This is the fifth factor of our trust test. And so we've already gone through the other four during the rest of the week, and we're going to be doing the last one today. So what we're going to be doing is focusing on like how the text works. So on Tuesday, we already looked at like what the actual message is and the copy. But today we just want to look at like the formatting. Why did they choose to put this the way that it is? Why did they choose these fonts or the sizes and all that kind of stuff? So I want you to, in the comments, put in there anything that you notice that stands out to you, or any ideas that you come up with, like, oh, I should do that on my own. Let me know that you're here so I know that you're watching, and we'll get started. We do have a timer. We're going to break it down in 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes on the clock. And let's go. Okay, so if you're new this week, you're probably thinking like, Susan, this isn't a funnel, it's a website. I know. What we're doing is we're looking at this landing page for this particular offer. Brooke has a website, not a funnel. That's okay. It works for her. Doesn't always work for other people. If she was going to be running ads, she would definitely need a funnel. The reason why websites are no good is because it gives people too many different distractions, too many things to click on, and not a clear path of what they need to be doing, steps that they need to take, actions that they need to take. So, but that's what she has. So that's what we're working with, and we're just gonna go from here. Okay, so immediately we already know there's a menu up here. We're gonna move past that, and this here is her headline. Although it's not really a headline, we dove into that on Monday. This is actually the name of her offer. This is the name of her program, and that's okay. What sticks out to me though is obviously it's the largest part of the text on this page. We haven't dove into like types of fonts very much on this show, but I think I'm going to do that here. There's this cool little Chrome add-on called Fonts Ninja that once you have it installed and you go on a page and you click on it, it will excuse me, it will tell you the fonts that are being used on the page. A big mistake that people make, it's not like a huge disastrous mistake, but it can still affect the way that people view your page and view your brand overall, is when they use way too many different types of fonts. And so I like to see on here that Brooke only has two fonts. Two fonts. That's what we want to stick to. We don't want to do more than 3 fonts for sure, but 2 fonts is the sweet spot. Usually you have a headline font and then you have a body font. So we've got Cormorant is her headline font, and it's a serif font. And then we have, I don't know how to pronounce this, Lato or Lato is her body font, and this is a sans serif font. So they complement each other, and it gives people a clear indication between like where the eye should go. Like, oh, this is the headline, I should pay attention to it. Oh, this is body copy, it's probably going to be a little bit more in depth, right? So stick to 2 fonts, and you'll see. So let's go through. We've got this headline. Are you ready to change your life? Is the headline. Here's where you get in. I mean, I guess there's technically subheadlines, and I don't know what font she's using on. Actually, that is it's highlightable. It's not an image. So that also must be that same Cormorant font. But you can see she's very consistent. They are very consistent in the design of this page. The other thing that people do when they are putting their copy together is they don't really pay attention to the sizes of their fonts, and they kind of just wing it and go for it. You will want to, as much as possible, stick to what you have. Stick to certain sizes. So if you decide, okay, my headline's going to be this size, obviously the headline's probably going to be the only thing on your page that is going to be that size. But then we've got 22 pixels here. This is 20 pixels. Then we went back to 22 pixels. So she's got 22 pixels that's consistent through her whole page. And then back to 20 and 22. So it looks like she bounces between 20 and 22. And then down to 16 for her testimonials. That's not a huge deal, but just make sure things are big enough to read. We talked about this earlier in the week. I would make these a little bit bigger. They should be a little bit more prominent on the page, and maybe make them bold. So that's the other thing that we've talked about on this show before, is to make something really stand out. If you have a large chunk of text, one of the things that you're going to want to do is make certain phrases bold. I don't see her doing that on this page. She could have easily made some of these phrases bold. Start seeing amazing results in their life. Do whatever you want in life. No matter how big your goals are, I wouldn't highlight all of that, but I would pick one or the other. Down here, especially if you have a lot of text for someone to read, using the bold method will make it easier for people to get through your text. It almost sets like these little milestones for them. Like, let's say you've got, this is more of like a list of what they're getting. I'm just trying to find what would I, like, you can solve any problem could be something that she could make bold, or even start making changes immediately could be bold, and then you can solve any problem, make that bold. So we've got them a little bit spread apart, but now you've given your reader like goalposts to get to, like milestones. So it's like, okay, I'm going to read this part. Got to that part. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to read through here. And then you're getting to the next bold part. I don't know if that's a thing. I feel like that's something that I do when I read, of like, okay, I'm just going to read. Like, it makes it chunks it out more, right? It makes it like, okay, this is just a section I'm going to read. I'm going to read it till the next point. And then you get to that point, you're like, oh, I want to keep reading more. It's also why we break it up into these paragraphs. They're not really paragraphs like we learn in school, right? They're like almost every sentence is its own little paragraph. And that's just because it helps people divide up the huge task of reading all your copy into these little goals, these little tasks where we can read just a little bit at a time. And I think that's a really great way of putting it, of like, you're taking the big task of them reading all your copy, and you're making it easier by putting it into these little tasks. That is basically the gist of it. Okay, 3.5 minutes. Let's see. So I commented on this earlier. I really liked how the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are in here. I think that's a really cool design. And also notice how this is the only part of this page that is like this, I believe. Let's scroll through it real quick. The learn how to format is the only thing on this page where it is like this divider line with the text and the box around the text. And I think that is really cool in helping to break up the pattern, right? Pattern interrupt. It helps us realize, like, okay, usually when there's a change in what you're talking about, you can change the background to indicate, like, okay, we're going to be shifting gears. We're talking about something else now. You've got a subheadline to introduce what you're about to talk about. But then another cool way would be to just change the design completely. Like, we have had picture and text. Then we have an interrupt with a video. But then we have pictures and text. And then all of a sudden it's an interrupt where it's like, here's a totally different subheadline. It's not really a subheadline. It's really just kind of titling this section. And we're going to go to 3 columns and 2 columns. It's like totally interrupting the pattern. And that's what creates visual interest. this part here is going into the order form. I feel like I've skipped over this a lot this week, and I'm trying to think of how they could design this differently. I can't unhighlight. There we go. Because throughout this whole week, I realized like every time I'm talking about this page, I'm pretty much skipping over this. And even the design day, I didn't really look at this. And I don't know if it's because it's just the order form or if it's just really, it doesn't catch my eye very much. If you're ready to go all in on yourself and create the life you've always wanted, you're in the right place. Self-Coaching Scholars is the solution for you if you tried all of the, like, I feel like some things need to be highlighted here. This seems a little bit too boring to catch my eye. And I think that has to do with the way that this text is presented. I think if they pulled out some pieces to really highlight, change up the color, make it bold, or change the size of the text, then I would be able to like read through it. Like I'd be interested in reading through it. Right now it's looking more like an article, and I don't want to read articles. That's my opinion, right? And then down here, this is a really cool presented way we've got just really simple text with the picture, and with the slider, it creates that visual interest. So not really too much to do with the testimonials here. And then the frequently asked questions part, they have these really awesome like opening and closing actions where you could just like list, like have it all like this on your page, but you know, like without the actions, you could just have your page built so where they're scrolling down, it's like, okay, cool, here's all the FAQs, which is nice. It would still look nice this way, but it just adds that extra element of, okay, this is like a professional site. This is, and it just saves space, especially in mobile view. If you can make the page shorter, that's even better for mobile view, because on mobile view, like if you have a long page and you're scrolling through, it like accentuates the length of your page when you're having to like physically scroll through the page on a phone, especially because it's taking everything that would be wide and stacking it all on top of each other. It would just make the page seem like so much longer. So this is really good for mobile as well. That's all we have time for today, you guys. I'm glad you were able to join me. Let me know what your favorite part about this page has been, what you've learned, what your biggest takeaways have been, and who you would like to see me do next. Also, if you want to get on a call with me, I do 10-minute bonding calls with people. There's no sales involved. I just want to get to know you. If you're interested in that, put in the comments #funnelfriend, and I'll reach out to you. We'll get something figured out. And guys, if you want to go watch all of the episodes of Funnel Factor, go to funnelfactorshow.com. The link is in the comments. And also in there, once you get in there, there is a link to where you can go do the T.R.U.S.T test. It is a free one-pager. If you don't know what one-pager is, it's a really cool interactive, basically lead magnet tool, and it's used for so many different things. But I used it to create my lead magnet. It's interactive. It's really awesome. So if you want to take your funnel and put it through the same process that I do every week on this show, go to funnelfactorshow.com, get your free account there, and then go to the link that says Funnel Trust Test or Trust Test. I'm not sure what it says, but it's up at the top, and you can go get that for free as well. So that's it for me this week. We'll be back next week, and have a great weekend and happy Friday.